once Dylan went down, it's like you texted me that your game plan just went out the window.
Yeah, it got
your
flipped
whole
on its
game
head.
plan.
Got flipped on its head. Everything we were setting up, because we were motioning a lot early in that game. We were motioning out, and we were motioning Ja'Cory cross, and we were waiting to throw that pass and waiting to kind of have that end around to Ja'Cory. And those things that you're just constantly setting up, because we kept that motion out, and then we would hand it off on the inside. And then there was a play later on where we blocked everything like we were handing it off to Emmett inside, and we had him break on the right-hand side. And there was a couple of opportunities there in the first half where we really were trying to get it into third and fourth and short. We just weren't able to. And I forget who it was tweeted, I don't understand the play calling, because I think it was some of the running on third down, maybe third and long. We were running on those plays, or second and long run on those plays, third and long run on those plays. But what we were really trying to do is catch them off guard. And you got to understand that sometimes you can't just throw every third and long. Sometimes you're going to run the ball, even if it's on your side of the field. Sometimes you're going to run the ball with an opportunity to set yourself up, but you're still trying to catch them off guard. It's not like we're running the same play over and over on those third and long. Like, we set a lot of those plays up as if we were running, like Emmett was having success up the middle, and all of a sudden we block that play on 3rd and 8 like it's going up the middle, and we hand it off to Emmett cutting outside. And that is just testing the linebacker's eyes of USC. And what we're trying to do with those motions is confuse their eyes. And early it worked. Early it worked. And that allowed us to run the ball. And then as soon as Rhule went down, everything that was set up for that late third and fourth quarter got flipped up on his head, because now you have a running back that you can't really trust necessarily. You got to ease him into the game. You can't just come out throwing the ball with him. And we saw that they kind of a little bit later started trying to throw, get him kind of eased into it with some throws that maybe weren't going to be, too dicey of throws.
Very low risk.
Very low risk throws. Yeah. But at the same time, they probably came out and they ran the most high percentage throws that he was running in practice. And they were confident with him in those plays. But outside of that, you really have to just, mitigate the risk and not let it blow up and leave yourself an opportunity to win the game at the end. And unfortunately, we fell at the end.
Quite literally.
I was pleased that we got the ball back. I mean, that was great. They made at least enough of a stand to get the ball back with some time left on the clock. What more could you ask for after the way they were getting gashed in that second half? Just unfortunately, you're relying on a true freshman quarterback to try to figure out how to go 97 yards with a playbook that's probably gone from something like this big to like that.
100%.
So, like you said, all the things they were probably setting up. But conversely, you look at the USC offense, you could see them setting up those keepers by the quarterback early in the game, because that same action then yielded, because we'd crash hard, like you said, on that counter action. And then Maeva was just wide open around the end. I mean, Lenhart got beat a couple times. 96 got beat. One year got beat a couple times. So it was kind of ugly there too, that discipline that you need on those option type plays. You got to have somebody stay home.
Yes.
And 3 or 4 times they didn't. So that was bad eye discipline.
That's a great point, because just like we were setting stuff up to run late third, early fourth quarter, they were doing the same thing. The difference was they had their quarterback in there and everything was able to work off of it. Everything that they were setting up, they were containing that Jaden Maeva run until late in the game, because we crashed inside. So that's where coaching comes into play. And that's why it's hard to sit here and, I blame the coaching for the timeout situation and all that. But overall, I think our coaching did a very good job in terms of game planning, especially at halftime, because I was really curious to see how we came out of halftime, because as soon as the aggression kind of backed off for our defense, they stopped feeding off the crowd. I was like, okay, now this is where the coaching is going to matter. And this is where the adjustments. And that's why I texted Brian too. And I posted this, but I was watching a little bit more of the Football Live, because I was curious to see how that was going to transpire. And, offensively, I think everything that we needed recipe-wise was there, because we saw it being set up the whole time. Ja'Cory was going to get that pass on the outside, either that or he was going to get that end around, or both. But we never got the opportunity to get that play because by the time that opportunity came, we didn't have a quarterback. And then Latif, we're just trying to figure out like, hey, like we got to move the pocket and get Latif comfortable, because Latif in that moment, he needed some time to be able to move the pocket and be able to see what was going on, because USC was going to come out there and they were going to do some things to really trick him defensively, and they were going to throw some stuff at him that he hadn't seen. And our offense knew that, and that's why we were very conservative there. I still think a little too conservative. I don't know how y'all feel about that late in the game, but I think we're a little too conservative there late.
On that final drive?
Yes. Oh, well, even on that fourth down where we went for the field goal.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't understand why they burned the timeout. Well, I'm glad they actually did, honestly, because that play with Heinrich Harburg never works, and they were just going to basically.
And it looked like he was doing a hard count. They were trying to draw him off sides, and then they decided to kick the field goal, and it didn't work. But it looks so unorganized at the same time. It's like, well, if you're going to draw him off, get up to the damn line and try it for 10 seconds, not 3. You know,
I personally thought that was an opportunity. We maybe should have came up to the line, try to draw him off sides. But you got Heinrich Harburg in there. How tall is he? 6'5". Like, snap that ball and get that first down. You're running the ball, or just
Emmett Johnson
hand the damn ball off to the guy who's missing. He didn't get stopped behind the line a lot. Give him that ball and put it in your best player's hand. We saw what happened last week, and we did that. He got contacted behind the line of scrimmage and was able to somehow find 6 hidden yards and was a 3rd and 4 or 4th and 4 and fall forward for like 5 yards. He finds a way to get yards.
Yeah, for sure.
And I'm willing to live with that if we go for that and don't get it. I am.
I'll add, I think they lost their edge a little bit offensively throughout the entirety of the game. I feel like they weren't aggressive. Like that play, for example, where it was 4th and 1 and they're indecisive what they're doing, and they go kick the field goal. To me, especially with a freshman quarterback, that was a moment for you to say, look, kid, we trust you. We're going to put the ball in your hands. Even if it's just taking the snap and handing it off, we trust you to get the job done. I think that could have been an opportunity for a really big motivational thing for TJ, big critical 4th down in the game. I think that was his first drive, if I'm not mistaken. I just think it was a good chance for you to show that you trusted him, and then for you to bail out like that, just to me, kind of sent the wrong message.
Yeah, I think a zone read there would have been perfect. Yeah.
Or even the RPO thing where they rolled him out and they gave him the option to pass to the flat or take off, because he was getting 6 yards of carry doing that.
I feel like the risk you run with an RPO is pick 6, because that can go really bad. Because if he's just thinking RPO and his mind's set, because usually when you get a young quarterback like that, sometimes their mind is already set. Like, I'm faking this handoff and I'm throwing this no matter what. Like, they don't have the wherewithal to like, okay, he's jumping this route, I'm going to pull this ball, because they're just ready to rip it. And I think that might have been their fear, was mitigating risk there. So I think like the safest thing would have been a zone read. You have a quarterback with some legs who, you trust to obviously run the ball a little bit there. And then if not, make sure he hands that ball off to Emmett Johnson, because like I said before, we've seen he's found the ability to get hidden yards when they're not there and find a way to fight for them. Albeit that last drive, I get that. We're not holding that against Emmett, though.
No.
That's just a very Nebraska-esque moment there at the end of the game.